Alright, I know this is not normal, you don't usually see my face in these videos, but guess what? Unless something is moving, unless some kind of video is playing, you guys don't seem to retain your attention on these videos, and I'm lazy to edit, so guess what? I'm showing my face so there's some kind of movement on screen, not just PNGs flying everywhere. I think I know the starters for the next Legends games. If it's Legends Johto, I think I pretty much got it. If it's Legends Unova, we got some talking to do. Maybe, I'm not too sure. But if we do get another Legends game, which I feel like no matter what, because Legends Arceus had Hisuian starters, we will definitely get starter variations or starter forms for every starter Pokemon, and that there should be some kind of variant game coming up. Whether it's Legends or something else, there should be something. Maybe it's a future game, who knows, but I feel like there will be something. Something of the sort where starter Pokemon can get variants or regional forms or, you know, whatever you want to call it. Because again, Samurott, Typhlosion, and Decidueye got it. If the others don't get it, it's kind of weird. So let's play it off assuming that's either Legends Johto or Legends Unova. Because we only know of the Legends IP, we don't know if they're ever going to do anything else. They might not, who knows. But since we can play off of that, that's our best bet. And I think for Johto, there's a formula to crack this down exactly, to the T. Okay, so my idea here is for the Legends Arceus starters, they may have not had much of a pattern, like you can't really tell why or how they picked Cyndaquil, Oshawott, or Rowlet. When they fully evolve, you can tell that they're based off of things that would relate to Hisui, sure, but I don't know, there wasn't much of a pattern to why they chose them. However, there was kind of sort of a pattern to the starters that they didn't pick, right? They obviously didn't pick the Sinnoh starters. You would think that it being a Sinnoh title, it would have the Sinnoh starters get regional forms. No, they want to go with new starters. So possibly if they would go with Legends Johto or Legends Unova, they're going to exclude their own starters from the selection, right? That's one thing. The other thing is they excluded the Galar starters because Galar was really fresh. So you can play off of that too. And now with the Legends Arceus starters, you can break it down even further. So this is what I'm saying. Assume we have Legends Johto, right? The Gen 2 starters are gone. Chikorita, Totodile, Cyndaquil, gone. They're not getting new forms. Cyndaquil already has one, so Chikorita, Totodile out of the window. You can cross them out, right? Then you have the Gen 9 starters, the Paldean starters. Most likely, those guys won't get forms or anything either because they're so new. They're fresh. They just came out this generation. They already have all the love they need. It's all good. Cross them out. You can go one step further with this. Johto is right beside Kanto. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, what if we get Charmander or Squirtle or Bulbasaur in Legends Johto? I think you're being dumb. Because, I don't mean that in an offensive way. Because if they're getting forms, their native region is right there. Like, Johto and Kanto technically are like one region almost. You know what I mean? Like, it's right there. There's no reason why you would have a Legends game and it be any of the Kanto starters in Legends Johto. It doesn't, geographically, lore-wise, everything, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Otherwise, they would have evolved that way always. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? The whole point of Hisuian evolutions was these three starters in Hisui, for some reason, turn out different. If the Kanto starters turned out a different way in this part of the Johto region, then it's like, well, Johto and Kanto are right there. What difference does it really make? It doesn't make sense. So, I think we can cross out the Kanto starters as well. With that, we can also cross out, I believe, the Gen 5 and Gen 7 starters, because I don't think they would want to give us... Oshawott and Rowlet already had their Legends debuts in Legends Arceus, and I don't think they want to give favoritism to Gen 5 or Gen 7 right away, right after Legends Arceus. I think they would go for different starters, right? So what does this now leave us with? It leaves us with Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 6, and Gen 8. That's 4, right? But if you were to break it down a little bit further, I think there's a possibility they might not include Gen 4 in this aspect either, because Gen 4 just got a lot of love with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, as well as Legends Arceus. I know Legends Arceus, we just established that the Gen 4 starters weren't part of the starter selection, but they were in the games, a major part of the games and everything. I think it's safe to exclude them from this list, which means if we do get a Legends Johto game right now, like this upcoming Pokemon Day, the only starters you're looking at are Gen 3, Gen 6, Gen 6, and Gen 8. That's what I think personally, right? And if you were to do that, then you can break this down even further. The options for starter trios, if it's Gen 3, Gen 6, and Gen 8, are the following. Let's start off with Trico. If you got Trico, then you need a fire and a water starter. You either go Fennekin and Sobble, or you go Trico, Froakie, and Cinderace, Scorbunny, right? Trico, Froakie, Scorbunny. Now, let me just say, this line of Trico, Froakie, and Scorbunny is cracked. These are the 3 most popular starters of each generation. Grookey, Scorbunny is debatable. Trico, I guess Gen 3 is also debatable, but you have some of the most popular ones all together. I think that's a no-no. It would be cool. It would be really, really cool, but I think that's too many of the big hitters all at once. Trico, Fennekin, Sobble, however, it's not too bad. That looks nice, but the only thing is, you got a fox and like 2 lizards. I don't know if they would really go with it, you know, because Trico and Sobble really kind of overlap in terms of lizards and reptiles, you know, so maybe not. So with that, I'm gonna close off Trico being one of the possible starter options, and it's two lines. Does this make sense, this branch? I hope it does, because you just need to get a fire, water, grass core from 3 different generations, right? We'll go to Mudkip next. Mudkip, if Mudkip was the Gen 3 starter, then you would get Mudkip, Fennekin, and Grookey. No, yes, Mudkip, Fennekin, Grookey, yeah. Or you go Mudkip, Chespin, and Scorbunny. Mudkip, Chespin, Scorbunny. Yeah, okay. Mudkip, Chespin, Scorbunny, I don't think they would go with either, because Scorbunny and Chespin are too dang similar in terms of how they look. You put Chespin and Scorbunny next together, it looks like the same Pokemon. That's why I don't like either of them. It looks like the same goddamn Pokemon, just like reskinned. I'm not a fan of either of them. They wouldn't look good together with Mudkip personally. And they're 2 humanoid starters and 1 Exodal. I don't think it's gonna work. What's the other one? Mudkip, Fennekin, Grookey. Right? That one's not too bad. I think that's a feasible option. I don't see anything wrong in that option. Because Swampert's still a popular starter. Grookey is still, like, Rileyy is still a popular starter. Fennekin, I guess is popular with the furries. I don't know. Delphox, that's a weird one. But it's not so bad. I think it's doable. I think between the 4 options that we mentioned of starter trios, this one is pretty doable. But then you got Torchic. Torchic would be Torchic, freaking Chespin, Sobble. Not bad. Honestly, not bad, because Torchic is Blaziken. The Gen 3 starters, I think any one of them you can pass up as the popular starter. Blaziken's like also considered to be up there, you know, and then Chespin and Sobble kind of level it out a little bit, but Chespin and Sobble are also considered to be, I think, the worst in their trios, respectively. Possibly, I don't know. That's a little difficult to say. So it's not so strong. I wouldn't put it up there. The other Mudkip line that I mentioned is probably better. The Mudkip, Fennekin, Grookey one. But the other line that I have lined up, which I think is also pretty feasible, is Torchic, Froakie, and Grookey, which you see on the thumbnail. Torchic, Froakie, and Grookey. I think this trio, it's between this trio or the Mudkip, Fennekin, and Grookey trio. If we were to get a Legends Johto game, it's one of these 2. I feel personally, because the Torchic, Froakie, and Grookey line, yeah, I get it. Maybe I'm being optimistic, because still Froakie is Greninja is probably one of the most popular starters ever. Blaziken's also up there, and so is Rillaboom. So I'm kind of banking on something big. Now the more and more I mention, I feel like maybe the Mudkip, Fennekin, Grookey one levels out better than the Torchic, Froakie, and Grookey one. But I like the Torchic, Froakie, and Grookey one. But I think it's between these 2 options. For a Legends Johto game, I think we're looking at either one of these trios. And I don't know, obviously I don't know what they would evolve into or anything like that, but I think it can be pretty cool. And I think my rationale or reasoning makes sense. I don't see any flaws in it if we were to go off of patterns. And yes, I know Pokemon has broken patterns every generation. We don't even know what's coming up. There might not be a Legends game. Let's say Legends Johto happens in Gen 10, this pattern's immediately broken. I'm basing on the fact that it's happening in Gen 9. Like, you know, soon. The moment another generation gets added into this, we can't predict much. And there are a lot of, like, hypotheticals in there as well. But I still feel like despite all of that, my rationale is kind of makes sense. If it was Legends Unova, this is a whole different ballpark. You can't... So the reason why it works with Johto is because you eliminate 2 generations with Kanto and Johto because they're next to each other, and with Gen 9. If it was Legends Unova, you eliminate Gen 5, Gen 9, and then you limit Gen 2 and 7 because of Legends Arceus. But and Gen 5 is like, you know, it was a part of the elimination for Legends Arceus, but it's eliminated because it's Unova. So you're still remaining with 5 generations. Like, right? And okay, so sure, you can get rid of Sinnoh as well in that sense, right? You're left with 4. Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and freaking Kalos. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Alright, backtrack on that. I did that. I was stupid. If you had Legends Unova, you have Kanto, Hoenn, Kalos, Galar. I made a mistake. You have Kanto, Hoenn, Kalos, Galar, right? I think that's the right. That's the right one. I don't know who you pick. I don't like. There's no way for me to really dissect and figure out who would be in Legends Unova if that's the case. There's absolutely no way. There's too many hypotheticals with that. Even the whole Sinnoh thing is a hypothetical. I don't know if it makes sense to cut the Sinnoh I'm just saying maybe, but there's every chance that they add the Sinnoh into the mix. You know, there's like, who knows. But if you had to ask me for a hypothetical Legends Unova game, who would I want as the starters? If I had to just pick between gens 1, 3, 6, and 8, I definitely want Squirtle in the mix because I'm not saying this as just a Squirtle fanboy and Unova fanboy. Genuinely feel like Squirtle or Blastoise's regional variant or whatever would work perfectly in Unova. Do I want Torchic? Probably would want Torchic. I'd say Trico, but technically Trico and Squirtle are reptiles. I don't know if they want to overlap like that. Kalos is there. Dang, bro, what's up with me and Grookey? Yo, I would just go with this lineup that I have. Squirtle, Torchic, Grookey. I'm biased as heck. I would like, that's the trio that I would want to see. Realistically, I could also see Squirtle, Fennekin, Grookey, or Squirtle, Fennekin. I would say Trico, but I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see Squirtle in there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I broke it down to a science with Johto. Unova is too much of a hypothetical for me to make any kind of video, but instead of making a separate video, I thought I'd just mention it here. So yeah, but that's my idea of the starter selection for Legends Johto. You guys gotta let me know what you think. Does this make sense? Is what I'm saying making sense, or am I just talking crazy? Let me know what you think of my starter selections. What would you like to see as a starter selection in both Legends Johto and Legends Unova? Let me know. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you over on the next video, alright? Later, bye!